Hello friends, welcome to Insights I Can initiative. Today is very unfortunate incident. The entire India and across the world also, it witnessed very horrific violence in Manipur. So some violence related videos of Manipur, they've been resurfaced, and two women who belongs to kuki community, they were paraded nakedly and they were assaulted sexually. It is very unfortunate news. After this video surfaced, very important developments happened across India. Supreme Court acted. Even Supreme Court called Attorney General and Solicitor General. Supreme Court given an order that if government won't act, it will. Whereas Government of India used Section 69A of I.T Act, and it ordered all the intermediaries and even the search engines to take down the content of the videos. And National Commission of Women also given notice to Twitter for identifying the victims. So these are the three latest developments, and we will discuss further information in this video. So before we discuss regarding the Manipur violence, first we will do the syllabus mapping, then we will discuss about the details of this video. With respect to syllabus mapping, it is useful in prelims point of view, and in mains it will be useful in social issues, that is general studies paper 2, and in terms of polity also it will be useful, because in this video we are going to discuss about Article 355 also. In which condition Article 355 will be invoked and what are the consequences we will discuss. Okay, let us see the video components, what issues we are going to discuss. First we will see why it is in news. Already just now I mentioned why it is in news, because of a video which is depicting a very horrific treatment on two women who belongs to kuki community. They were sexually assaulted. Whenever violence happens, generally the violence is continuously inflicting on very vulnerable groups such as women and children. It is happening across the globe. Even we have seen such kind of incidents in Syria crisis also. Next we will discuss about the importance of Section 69A and Section 66A, which was struck down in the Shreya Singhal case, Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. Then we will discuss about what is the exact reason behind the Manipur violence, and which one is triggered this violence, and why the Meitei community they are demanding for the ST status, and why the tribals which are living in the hill areas, why they were opposing to this proposal, we will discuss. And finally, why Article 355 was imposed in Manipur, and what are the implications of Article 355 and how it affects the center and that particular state relations, that we will discuss in the end of this video. So these are the video components we are going to discuss. Before we discuss further, first we will see where this Manipur is located. You should have some geographical idea. Manipur is sharing border with states such as Nagaland, Assam and Mizoram. It is also sharing international border with Myanmar. Why I am mentioning Myanmar means, from Myanmar also some of the people, they are coming into Manipur illegally and they are cultivating the cannabis cultivation. Okay, that means they are clearing the government lands and forest, and they are cultivating the cannabis. Of course government try to evict them. That also related to, so one of the reason for this particular violence. We will discuss further. Anyhow, Manipur is sharing border with Myanmar, that you have to know. And one question to you students, Manipur, it is hosting floating national park. What is the floating national park present in Manipur? What is the name of this floating national park? And this national park is related to which lake? Which lake? Okay, try to answer these questions. Now, let us see why it is in news. You know students, a video, like I said earlier, a video of two Manipuri women. They belong to Kuki Zomi community. The video was surfaced in internet. That video was showing two women. They paraded naked by a mob, and those women were sexually assaulted. In response to that video, majorly three developments were happened. Number one, central government ordered Twitter to remove that content by using Section 69A of I.T Act. And Supreme Court responded that if the government does not act, we will. That was observations of the CJI observations with respect to this incident. And National Commission for Women also, they given formal notice to Twitter to downgrade, to remove that content from Twitter because it is violating the victim identity policy. These are the three major developments regarding this particular video. First, let me give some conceptual clarity regarding this Manipur violence. Manipur violence. Okay, let's see. First, you have to understand, students, this Manipur violence. What are the reasons for this Manipur violence? What are the reasons for the Manipur violence? You have to know. Okay, reasons. Number one, so one of the reason, government, okay, taking action against illegal cultivation of drugs. This is majorly done by the illegal migrants who are coming from Myanmar. We already seen that Manipur is sharing border with Myanmar. This was one of the reason. And second reason for this one is Manipur High Court. It given an order that this Meitei community, they should be given ST status. Meitei community should be given ST status. Actually, this is the immediate reason for the clash between the Manipur community and, so who are opposing this proposal, this ST status proposal is opposing by hill tribes in Manipur. Actually, in the middle of the Manipur, so valley is there, and this valley is surrounded by the hills. This valley consisted of 10% of Manipur geography, hills consisted of 90%. But in the Manipur assembly, out of 60 MLAs, the valley is representing the 40 MLAs. That means Meitei community, they are politically very powerful. So a reservation to them is being opposed by the hill tribes. This is the flashpoint, immediate reason, and that led to the violence between these communities. Mainly in the hilly tribes, which tribe mainly opposing this reservation proposal? Kuki tribe. Kuki tribe is mainly opposing this. Okay. So now so this is the one of the reason. And what are the consequences? Because of this one? Consequences. You know, students, if state government is unable to maintain the law and order, that may result to the internal disturbance within the state. Whenever internal disturbance comes within the state, central government can invoke Article 355 and it can give orders. Okay, if that orders are not followed, then by using Article 365, central government can impose president rule. So far Article 365 was not imposed, but Article 355 used in violence. That means union government given orders to Manipur to take this law and order into control. This was one of the consequences. Apart from this also this Manipur violence also caused, one of the consequences is violence on women. Violence on women also increased. One of that video, recently, yesterday, it was in various social media platforms. Of course, government claimed that as one of the isolated incident, but court questioned the government that how can you say whether that was an isolated incident or it is a continuous process. Okay. So anyhow, students, after watching this video, so give your opinion. What kind of solutions you can propose in response to this violence? How can we stop this kind of ethnic clash in your point of view? Okay. So these are one is the reason, the other one is the consequence, and now the Supreme Court observations also came. Now we will go through the notes in detail. Okay. So first, let us see. Already we discussed why it is in news and what are the major responses. Now let us see. After this video circulated in various social media platforms, Government of India invoked Section 16(a) of I.T Act 2000. Okay, I.T Act. According to this act, central government can give orders. Through these orders, they can block the content in various internet service provider, telecom service provider, web hosting services, search engines and online marketplaces. Government can give orders. Recently, government used this provision even to block the BBC documentary, to block the BBC documentary. Okay, in which conditions government will issue these orders? If government thinks that that content is affecting the country's sovereignty or unity, security of the country, or it is this content is affecting the friendly relations of India with other countries, or it may cause incitement of the violence. That means if you refer the Article 19 clause 2, Article 19 clause 2. So whichever these grounds are applicable, whatever the grounds mentioned in Article 19.2, all applicable to the Section 69A. On those grounds, government can give orders under 69A. Okay. So in Shreya Singhal versus Union of India case, both Section 66A and 69A of I.T Act were challenged. But Supreme Court struck down the Section 66A, but Supreme Court upheld this Section 69A. Supreme Court mentioned that Section 69A is constitutionally valid because there were certain safeguards mentioned in Section 69A, whereas Section 66A, it is completely violation of the fundamental right. So it was struck down by Supreme Court in Shreya Singhal case, Section 66A. Next. So what is main reason behind this violence? I already mentioned High Court judgment given regarding the ST reservation to Meitei community. That was an immediate flashpoint regarding the Manipur violence. Okay. So here, as I mentioned earlier, if this is a Manipur map, in the central part of the Manipur map, it is the Imphal Valley, where lot of Meitei community are inhabiting. The rest of the entire Manipur, this Imphal Valley is surrounded by the hilly areas where we can see lot of kuki tribes. Okay, and they are opposing the reservation to Meitei community. This violence started after High Court given this kind of observation related to Meitei community. Opposing the reservation to Meitei community, a student organization popularly known as All Tribals Student Union of Manipur. Okay, this organization protested against the reservation to Meitei community, and those protests further resulted into violence between these two communities. Next, what are the major communities residing in the Manipur? In Manipur, major community, okay, are the tribes who are living in the hilly areas, and the Meitei community. Meitei community is actually non-tribal people. These are living in Imphal Valley, and they are living in 10% of the Manipur landmass, and they are non-tribal in nature, but they are representing 40 out of the entire 60 MLAs. And the hill areas, they consist of 90% of the state geography, but their political representation is very low. They are contributing only 20 MLAs, and they are inhabited by almost more than 35 recognized tribes. Out of that, Kuki Zoom tribe is one of the significant tribe. Why does the Meitei community they are demanding for the ST status? You know, students, for the Meitei community, they are, mainly Scheduled Tribes Demand Committee of Manipur. This committee is demanding the ST status to Meitei community. Majorly, Meitei community are arguing that they enjoyed ST status, Scheduled Tribe status, before independence. After independence, when Manipur princely states integrated with India, after that they lost the ST status. Now they wanted the restoration of the ST status. What kind of benefit they are expecting by getting the ST status? By getting the ST status, first one is they can get certain constitutional safeguards. They can protect their culture, and land alienation, they can protect their land, and like other communities, they are also wanted certain constitutional safeguards. And Meitei community arguing that their population is also decreasing because they are not having safeguards. Their community people, they are migrating to other states for better opportunities. Opposing this reservation to Meitei community, it is strongly opposed by Nagas, Zomis and Kukis. They are opposing, students. Okay, they are opposing. Reasons for opposing. The reasons for opposing is mainly the other tribes. They are saying that this Meitei community, they are educationally well developed, and they are politically they are having very significant in number. They are controlling the state, and they are demographically also advantaged because they are living in the valley region. So they are agriculturally and economically also more development. So giving ST status to Meitei community is a self-defeating. And Meitei community, after getting ST status, they may force other tribes in hilly areas from their native places. So tribes in hilly areas, they are opposing this in very strong way. And they are also arguing that the language spoken by this Meitei community, that is Manipur language, already included in the 8th schedule. So their cultural rights are, that means cultural rights related to language, it is already protected by the constitution. That is their argument, students. Next, is this the only demand related to this entire violence regarding the ST status? It is not the only one. Like I said earlier, government of Manipur, they try to take action against the drug cultivation, especially against opium and cannabis. But people illegally enter from Myanmar who belongs to Kuki, Zomi community. They are clearing the government lands and forests, and they are cultivating this cannabis as well as the opium plantation. When government try to evict them, they are having clash with the government authorities. This is also one of the theory some people are saying about this violence, students. And Kuki tribes, they are claiming that according to Article 371C, the Manipur hill areas, they are having the autonomous in terms of their administration. Students, if you remember in Panchayat Raj, which article says that Panchayat Raj institutions are not applicable in Manipur? Okay? In Panchayat Raj, in which article? In the Panchayat Raj, in part 9, which article clearly says that Panchayat Raj is not applicable in the hilly areas of Manipur? Try to tell me, students. Okay? Then, in any state, if the state is experiencing the internal disturbance, or if the state is under the external aggression, if any country try to occupy that state, then according to Article 355, Union government is responsible to give protection to that particular state. It is according to the part 18 of the Indian Constitution under 355. This is according to the principle of duty of protection. The same principle used by P.V. Narasimha Rao government in the context of Babri Masjid demolition. At that time also Union government given certain orders to UP, Rajasthan, MP and Himachal Pradesh government, and those state governments not followed those orders. Because of that, by using Article 355, they imposed Article 365 in those states. So Article 355 main purpose is center has to protect state from internal disturbance as well as the external aggression. So circumstances in which condition? When constitutional machinery is failed in a state, when state is unable to maintain its own law and order, and when state is under the external aggression, and that may be resulted to the threat to unity and integrity of the nation, and when in states minorities protection is under threat. During these conditions, Article 355 can be imposed in a particular state. What is the duration? The president rule duration under Article 355. So there is no particular duration mentioned in the Constitution. Central government can withdraw either by itself or when state government requested, if central government satisfied that everything is normal. Does it comes under judicial review? Obviously. Both Article 355 and Article 365 both comes under the judicial review. What are the implications? Under Article 355, it is generally should be used only in the urgent situation, and it should not extend beyond a particular time. Once everything is normal, then Article 355 and Article 365 both should be withdrawn. Okay? And in this condition, center also cannot interfere in the day-to-day affairs of the state. Then what is the way forward to all this Manipur violence? The way forward is, this violence is all about the deep-rooted ethnic mistrust between the Meitei community and hilly tribes. The government, center as well as state government, they have to take all the stakeholders into confidence, and they have to organize certain dialogues, and it has to ensure that all the stakeholders should get confidence, at least in some or another way, and the government should ensure that law and order should be maintained, and it should bring into normalcy as quick as possible. And this is the only solution we can expect in the near future. In yesterday's video, I asked the question, So consider the following statement regarding the project Cheetah. So with respect to this, first two pairs are right. Two pairs were matched. Only two pairs were matched. Third pair, that is project Cheetah, is an initiative of several countries in Africa. It is wrong. It is initiative of India students. Then we will see today's question. Which of the following was not a reason for the recent violence in Manipur? Not a reason. Out of these four statements, which statement do you think is not a reason related to Manipur violence? Then mains question. The conflict between the Meiteis and the tribals recently led to violence and unrest in Manipur. How can this conflict can be resolved? How this conflict can be resolved? Peacefully and democratically. What role can the central and state government play in addressing the grievances and aspirations of both communities? What is the role of central and state governments? Now, as we reaching to the end of this video, just we will do the quick recap of this video. In this video, we discussed about recently, yesterday, one video surfaced regarding the Kuki women. They were being paraded nakedly and they were sexually molested. With respect to that, the response of the Supreme Court, National Commission for Women and Union Government we have seen. And we also discussed about Section 16(a), Shriya Singhal versus Union of India. And we also discussed about the root cause of this Manipur violence, why the Meitei community demanded for ST status and why other communities are opposing that. And we also discussed about Article 355 and what is the responsibility of union government. This is the detailed analysis regarding the Manipur violence and Section 16(a) of the I.T Act.